and welcome to the Love MEESH Podcast. I am your host, Meesh. There are a billion people in the world, and I'm just one of them. And welcome to my podcast, where I'll share my thoughts, opinions, and ramblings, and sometimes I'll have guests, and no subject is off limits. So let the conversation begin. Mimi, go Mimi. It's the Meesha Podcast. Hey, go me, go Mimi.
I will be honest with you, I haven't been back to court in a long time because I don't think I was heard on any level when I came to court the last time. I brought 4 sheets of paper in my hands and wrote in length what I had been through the last 4 months before I came there. The people who did that to me should not be able to walk away so easily. I'll recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney.
Miss Spears, I hate to interrupt you, but my court reporter is taking down what you're saying.
Okay.
And so you have to speak a little more slowly.
Of course, yes. Okay, I apologize.
And
Great.
record of everything you're saying.
Okay.
Sure. Now,
the people who did this to me should not get away and to be able to walk away so easily. Recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour. He handed me a sheet of paper as I got off the stage in Vegas and said I had to sign it. It was very threatening and scary, and with the conservatorship, I couldn't even get my own attorney, so out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour. When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I'd been doing Vegas for 4 years and I needed a break in between. But no, I was told this is the timeline and this is how it's going to go. I rehearsed 4 to 4 days a week, half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in a Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show with my whereabouts, where I preferred to rehearse and actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography myself. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of video with me at rehearsals. I wasn't good. I was great. I led a room of 16 new dancers in rehearsals. It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals and I never agreed to take my medication, which my medication is only taken in the mornings, never at rehearsal. They don't even see me. So why are they even claiming that? When I said no to one dance move into rehearsals, it was as if I planted a huge bomb somewhere. And I said, no, I don't want to do it this way. After that, my management and my dancers and my assistant of the new people that were supposed to do the new show all went into a room, shut the door, and didn't come out for at least 45 minutes. Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move. I was told by my, at the time, therapist, Dr. Benson, who died, that my manager called him in that moment and told him I wasn't cooperating or following the guidelines in rehearsals. And he also said I wasn't taking my medication, which is so dumb because I've had the same lady every morning for the past 8 years give me my same medication, and I'm nowhere near these stupid people. It made no sense at all. There was a week period where they were nice to me and they said, I don't want to do, and I told them I don't want to do the, they were nice to me. They said, if I don't want to do the new Vegas show, I don't have to, because I was getting really nervous. I said, I can wait. It was like, they told me I could wait. It was like lifting literally 200 pounds off of me when they said I don't have to do the show anymore, because I was really, really hard on myself and it was too much. I couldn't take it anymore. So I remember telling my assistant, but you know what? I feel weird if I say no. I feel like they're going to come back and be mean to me or punish me or something. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad. And my dad only, he acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away when my kids went home to Louisiana. He was the one who approved all of it. My whole family did nothing. Over the 2-week holiday, a lady came into my home for 4 hours a day, sat me down and did a psych test on me. It took forever. But I was told I had to then, after that I got off, I was told I had to then, after I got a phone call from my dad saying, after I did the psych test with this lady, basically saying I had failed the test or whatever. I'm sorry, Brittany, you have to listen to your doctors. They are planning to send you to a small home in Beverly Hills to do a small rehab program that we're going to make up for you. You're going to pay $60,000 a month for this. I cried on the phone for an hour and he loved every minute of it. The control he had over someone as powerful as me, as he loved the control to hurt his own daughter 100,000%, he loved it. I packed my bags and went to that place. I worked 7 days a week, no days off, which in California, the only similar thing to this is called sex trafficking, making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, passport card, and placing them in a home where they work with the people who live with them. They all lived in the house with me, the nurses, the 24/7 security. There was one chef that came there and cooked for me daily during the weekdays. They watched me changed every day, naked, morning, noon, and night. My body, I had no privacy door for my room. I gave 8 gallons of blood a week. If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend. I never had a say in my schedule. They always told me I had to do this. And ma'am, I will tell you, sitting in a chair 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, it ain't fun. And especially when you can't walk out the front door. And that's why I'm telling you this again 2 years later. After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I thought I said that enough. Maybe I might become happy because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry, it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing at me when I said, no, ma'am, they should be in jail. They're cool tactics working for Miley Cyrus as she smokes on joints and stage at the VMAs. Nothing is ever done to this generation for doing wrong things. But my precious body, who's worked for my dad for the past fucking 13 years, trying to be so good and pretty, so perfect when he works me so hard, when I do everything I'm told in the state of California, allowed my ignorant father to take his own daughter, who only has a role with me if I work with him. They set back the whole course and allowed him to do that to me. That's giving these people I've worked for way too much control. They also threatened me and said, if I don't go, then I have to go to court. And it will be more embarrassing me if the judge publicly makes you go, the evidence we have, you have to go. I was advised for my image, I need to go ahead and just go and get it over with. They said that to me. I don't even drink alcohol. I should drink alcohol, considering what they put my heart through. Also, the Bridges facility they sent me to, none of the kids, I was doing this program for 4 months. So the last 2 months I went to a Bridges facility. None of the kids there did the program. They never showed up for any of them. You didn't have to do anything if you didn't want to. How come they always made me go? How come I was always threatened by my dad and anybody that participated in this conservatorship? If I don't do this, what they tell me to enslave me to do, they're going to punish me. The last time I spoke to you by just keeping the conservatorship going and also keeping my dad in the loop made me feel like I was dead, like I didn't matter, like nothing had been done to me, like you thought I was lying or something. I'm telling you again because I'm not lying. I want to feel heard, and I'm telling you this again so maybe you can understand the depth and the degree and the damage that they did to me back then. I want changes, and I want changes going forward. I deserve changes. I was told I have to sit down and be evaluated again if I want to end the conservatorship. Ma'am, I didn't know I could petition the conservatorship to end it. I'm sorry for my ignorance, but I honestly didn't know that. But honestly, but I don't think I owe anyone to be evaluated. I've done more than enough. I don't feel like I should even be in a room with anyone to offend me by trying to question my capacity of intelligence. Whether
Peace.
I need to be in this stupid conservatorship or not. I've done more than enough. I don't owe these people anything, especially me, the one that has roofed and fed tons of people on tour on the road. It's embarrassing and demoralizing what I've been through. And that's the main reason I've never said it openly. And mainly I didn't want to say it openly because I honestly didn't think anyone would believe me. To be honest with you, the part of that school, I didn't believe any of it. I'm sorry. I'm an outsider, and I'll just be honest. I didn't believe it. And maybe I'm wrong. And that's why I didn't want to say any of this to anybody, to the public, because I thought people would make fun of me or laugh at me and say, she's lying. She's got everything. She's Britney Spears. I'm not lying. I just want my life back. And it's been 13 years and it's enough. It's been a long time since I've owned my money, and it's my wish and my dream for all of this to end without being tested. Again, it makes no sense whatsoever for the state of California to sit back and literally watch me with their own two eyes make a living for so many people and pay so many people trucks and buses on tour on the road with me and be told I'm not good enough. But I'm great at what I do. And I allow these people to control what I do, ma'am, and it's enough. It makes no sense at all. Now, going forward, I'm not willing to meet or see anyone I've met with enough people against my will. I'm done. All I want is to own my money for this to end and my boyfriend to drive me in his fucking car. And I would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you. I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me, instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me by making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you to the judge to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me. And by not saying anything is saying it's okay. I don't know what I said here. It's not okay. I don't want to interview. I'd much rather just have an open call to you for the press to hear, which I didn't know today we're doing. So thank you. Instead of having an interview, honestly, I need that to get it off my heart, the anger and all of it that's been happening. It's not fair they're telling me lies about me openly. Even my family, they do interviews to anyone they want on news stations, my own family doing interviews and talking about the situation and making me feel so stupid. And I can't say one thing. And my own people say I can't say anything. It's been 2 years. I want a recorded call to you. Actually, we're doing this now, which I didn't know that we were doing this. To the public, who knows what they did to me. I told I know my lawyer, Sam, has been very scared for me to go forward because he's saying if I speak up, I'm being overworked in that facility of that rehab place. The rehab place will sue me. He told me I should keep it to myself, really. I would personally like to, actually, I know I've had grown with a personal relationship with Sam, my lawyer. I've been talking to him like 3 times a week now. We've kind of built a relationship, but I haven't really had the opportunity by my own self to actually handpick my own lawyer by myself. And I would like to be able to do that. I would like to also, the main reason why I'm here is because I want to end the conservatorship without having to be evaluated. I've done a lot of research, ma'am, and there's a lot of judges who do end conservatorships for people without them having to be evaluated all the time. The only times they don't is if a concerned family member says something's wrong with this person and otherwise. And considering my family has lived off my conservatorship for 13 years, I won't be surprised if one of them has something to say and go forward and say, we don't think this should end. We have to help her, especially if I get my fair served in turning, exposing what they did to me. Also, I want to speak to you about, at the moment, my obligations, which I personally don't think at the very moment I owe anybody anything. I have 3 meetings a week I have to attend no matter what. I just don't like feeling like I work for the people whom I pay. I don't like being told I have to, no matter what, even if I'm sick. Jody, the conservator, says I have to see my coach Ken even when I'm sick. I would like to do 1 meeting a week with a therapist. I've never, even before they sent me to that place, had 2 therapy sessions. a therapy session and one therapy session with I have a doctor and then a therapy person. What I've been forced to do illegal in my life, I shouldn't be told I have to be available 3 times a week to these people I don't know. I'm talking to you today because I feel, again, yes, even Jody is starting to kind of take it too far with me. They have me going to therapy twice a week and a psychiatrist. I've never in the past they have me going, twice a week and my Dr. Gold. So that's 3 times a week. I've never in the past had to see a therapist more than once a week. It takes too much out of me going to this man I don't know. Number one, I'm scared of people. I don't trust people with what I've been through. And the clever setup of being in Westlake, one of the most exposed places in Westlake, which yesterday, paparazzi showed me coming out of the place, literally crying in therapy. It's embarrassing and it's demoralizing. I deserve privacy when I go. I deserve privacy when I go and have therapy, either at my home, like I've done for 8 years. They've always come to my home. Or when the Dr. Benson, the man that died, I went to a place similar to what I went to in Westlake, which was very exposed and really bad. Okay, so where was I? In Westlake, it was identical to Dr. Benson, who died, the one who illegally, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me too. And to be totally honest with you, I was so...
Excuse me for interrupting you, but my reporter says if you could just slow down a little bit because she's trying to make sure she gets everything that you're saying.
Okay, cool.
And so if you could,
okay.
That would be great.
I have been through, and the clever setup in Westlake is identical to Dr. Benson, who died, the one who illegally, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me. And to be totally honest with you, when he passed away, I got on my knees and thanked God. In other words, my team is pushing it with me again. I have trapped phobias being in small rooms because the trauma locking me up for 4 months in that place is not okay for them to send me, to that small room like that twice a week with another new therapist I pay that I never even approved. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. And I haven't done anything wrong to deserve this treatment. It's not okay to force me to do anything I don't want to do. By law, Jody and this so-called team I should be able to sue them for threatening me and saying, if I don't go and do these meetings twice a week, we can't let you have your money and go to Maui on your vacations. You have to do what you're told for this program, and then you will be able to go. But it was very clever. They picked one of the most exposed places in Westlake, knowing I have the hot topic of the conservatorship, that over 5 paparazzis are going to show up and get me crying coming out of that place. I begged them to make sure that they did this at my home so I would have privacy. I deserve privacy. The whole conservatorship from the beginning, once the conservatorship from the beginning, once you see someone, whoever it is in the conservatorship, making them money and myself money and working, that whole statement right there, the conservatorship should end. There should be I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money and work for myself and pay other people. It makes no sense. The laws need to change. What state allows people to own another person's money and account and threaten them and saying, you can't spend your money unless you do what we want you to do, and I'm paying them? Ma'am, I've worked since I was 17 years old. You have to understand how thin that is for me. Every morning I get up to know I can't go on somewhere unless I meet people I don't know every week in an office identical to the one where the therapist was very abusive to me. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. And now we can sit here all day and say, oh, conservatorships are here to help people. But ma'am, there's 1,000 conservatorships that are abusive as well. I don't feel like I can live a full life. I don't owe them to go see a man I don't know and share him my problems. I don't even believe in therapy. I always think you take it to God. I want to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. In the meantime, I want this therapist once a week. He can either come to my home. No, I just want him to come to my home. I'm not willing to go to Westlake and be embarrassed by all these paparazzi, these scummy paparazzi laughing at my faces while I'm crying, coming out and taking my pictures as all these white, nice dinners with people drinking wine at restaurants, watching me leave these places. They set me up by sending me to the most exposed places, and I told them I didn't want to go there because I knew paparazzi would show up there. They only gave me 2 options for therapists, and I'm not sure how you make your decisions, ma'am, but this is the only chance for me to talk to you for a while. I need your help. So if you can just kind of let me know where your head is. I don't really honestly know what to say, but my requests are just to end the conservatorship without being evaluated. I want a petition basically to end the conservatorship, but I want it to be petition to end it, but I don't want to be evaluated and be sat in a room with people 4 hours a day like they did me before. And they made it even worse for me after that happened. So I'm honestly new at this, and I'm doing research on all these things. I do know common sense and the method that things can end. For people, it has ended without them being evaluated. So I just want you to take that in consideration. I've also done research. Also took a year during COVID to get me any self-care methods during COVID. She said there were no services available. She's lying, ma'am. My mom went to the spa twice in Louisiana during COVID. For a year, I didn't have my nails done, no hairstyling and no massages, no acupuncture, nothing for a year. I saw the maids in my home each week with their nails done different each time. She made me feel like my dad does, very similar, her behavior and my dad, but just a different dynamic. Team wants me to work and stay home instead of having longer vacations. They are used to me sort of doing a weekly routine for them, and I'm over it. I don't feel like I owe them anything at this point. They need to be reminded they actually work for me. They trick me by sending me to the, okay, I repeated myself there. Also, I was supposed to be able to have a friend that I used to do AA meetings with. I did AA for 2 years. I have I did 3 meetings a week. I met a bunch of women there, and I'm not able to see my friends that live 8 minutes away from me, which I find extremely strange. I feel like they're making me feel like I live in a rehab program. This is my home. I'd like for my boyfriend to be able to drive me in his car. And I want to meet with a therapist once a week, not twice a week. And I want him to come to my home because I actually know I do need a little therapy. I was told, hold on. I think and I would like to progressively move forward, and I want to have the real deal. I want to be able to get married and have a baby. I was told right now in the conservatorship, I'm not able to get married or have a baby. I have a ID inside of myself right now, so I don't get pregnant. I wanted to take the ID out so I could start trying to have another baby, but this so-called team won't let me go to the doctor to take it out because they don't want me to have any more children. So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I've worked my whole life. I deserve to have a 2 to 3 year break and just, do what I want to do. But I do feel like there is a crunch here, and I feel like I feel open and I'm okay to talk to you today about it. But I wish I could stay with you on the phone forever, because when I get off the phone with you, all of a sudden, I hear all these no's. No. And then all of a sudden I feel ganged up on, and I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone. And I'm tired of feeling alone. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody does by having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. And that's all I wanted to say to you. And thank you so much for letting me speak to you today. Time to deal.
Brittany, like anyone else, should have the freedom to live the life that's most authentic to her.
Britney Spears filed the motion to get her dad removed as a financial overseer for her conservatorship. That motion was denied. But I don't think anyone should be really alarmed yet, because she is going to file another motion to completely get rid of the conservatorship, and that's supposed to come mid-July. And we already in July. Ew. The only thing that I actually have to say about this is that I really feel a way that the conservatee has to prove that the conservator is mismanaging funds. If this is in fact a legal tool to protect the conservatee, I think the burden should lie on the conservator to prove that they're actually doing what they're supposed to do on behalf of the conservatee. Just my opinion, it should be written somewhere in legislation, because we are actively seeing what happens when a conservator is not advocating for their conservatee, and how much of a disadvantage that placed on the conservatee. Britney Spears filed a motion to get her dad removed as if. Two random things that I think is worth mentioning is that Britney Spears cast members on The X Factor said that she seemed off, like she was under the influence. And what I have to say about this is that if there is any other famous person in Hollywood that has some type of private anecdotal story about Britney Spears that you have yet to say from 2008, except for Iggy Azalea, the day that I gotta defend Iggy Azalea, keep Britney stories to yourself. There has been a Free Britney movement going on for quite some time. You all have said nothing. Stop capitalizing off of the fact that she's trying to get her life back. I don't care to hear your stories. Anyways, moving on. I also thought it was quite comical that Britney's brother said that he thinks that she should be out of the conservatorship. Boy, if you don't shut up. She was supposed to be out of this. It was supposed to be temporary. What the fuck? Two random things that I think is worth mentioning is that Britney Spears cast members on The X. Hey sir, it's your turn. I'm not sure if this is a new claim or just kind of like the same old, but supposedly Sweet Miss Here says that Britney Spears has dementia. I made myself very tiny because I want to be petty. These are the symptoms of dementia. I need you to pause and read because I'm going to take you through a timeline. So in October of 2007, Kevin Federline got custody of the kids. January of 2008, Britney Spears refused to hand them over. It was during this month that she got sent to the hospital on a 5150. And it was because she agreed to treatment that she was able to get some of her visitation rights back. Later that year, in September, Britney Spears secured visitation and opened up for the VMAs. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is that she got visitation of her sons. I want to establish a pattern that Britney Spears' behavior seems to align with the fact that she gets to see her children. Extremely manipulative, but that's what we're dealing with. See you in the next part. Hey, yes, I'm still making myself tiny, and yes, I'm still being petty. October 2008, Britney Spears' conservatorship is indefinite. November 2008, despite all of that, she still released Circus, her 6th studio album, and it was basically a banger, because duh. At this point, I think she's being compliant because she's able to see her kids. And she's not just being compliant, she's doing a damn good job at being compliant. So I don't know how this lines up with dementia, especially since her cognitive skills should not be as good as it was. Because, I mean, did you see her perform? March 2009, they sent her out on tour. March 2011, another album dominated the entire world. Duh, she's Britney. December 2013, they make her go to Vegas. I said make her. I said what I said. August 2016, she releases another album. This work pace is absolutely relentless and awfully cruel. Yes, I'm still making myself tiny, and yes, October 2018, Britney is still performing because you know she's a robot. January 2019, they announce a permanent, indefinite hiatus. All of the words. Anyway, Jamie seems like he had some of the days that he deserved. And I think it was due to this detachment that she was able to even get that break to begin with. April, Britney Spears basically tells us that she's okay while actively not looking okay. This was also the time that she was wearing clothing that people were asking her to wear because people were naturally concerned. May 2019, the judge orders some expert evaluation. Boo, we don't believe you. You definitely need more people. September 2019, Jamie steps down. I feel like this devil is in the mix, but we're gonna get to her, don't worry about it. August 2020, Jamie, the father, said that all the fans were crazy and conspiracy theorists. Boy, bye. October, we are in the streets. Because I feel like I drove my point home, Britney was compliant because she got to see her kids. It was also coupled with her not knowing what her rights were, as well as being medicated, but I won't really go into that because I don't understand it. Just stating that it was probably a factor as well. Jamie baby, last but not least, Jamie Lynn, it's your turn, boo. All I want to address is her statement and to completely debunk it. We're going to start off with the easiest things that she said and then work our way through the statement. Remember when she says that she just wants to support her sister no matter what she wants to do, and then she gives two really outlandish examples of how she would support her sister, whether she wanted to dominate the world or I think she said run away and have a zillion babies. This part of her statement, you can tell that she had no real hopes and dreams for her sister because she resorted to fantastical tales. I feel like that's extremely telling. See you in the next part. Jamie was also dishonest when she says that she only deals with her sister as a sister and an aunt to Britney's 2 children. There are documents where Jamie Lynn charges Britney's estate for flights. And to be honest, that's just all we know. This whole conservatorship is so secretive and all over the place that, who knows? But we actually have that on paper. It's just a little weird to be dishonest about, and I feel like because of that, I really couldn't trust the rest of what she had to say. Not like I was going to anyway. The fake crying, Jamie, the door. The last but most telling thing of her statement was that she said that she advised Britney to get new counsel years ago as a conversation between sisters. That was very telling to me. That means that Jamie Lynn had access to Britney privately. But Britney clearly stated that she had no idea that she could file to have this conservatorship be stopped. To wrap all of this up in a bow, I feel like Jamie Lynn accidentally corroborated Britney's story in court. One, she said that she had access to Britney privately. Britney said that she was never told that she could stop being in the conservatorship. Britney also clearly said that she wanted to sue her entire family. And then there's the relationship between these two. Lou Taylor is the manager of Britney's, like in the past. She was said to be one of the architects of this conservatorship. These two continued to have a business relationship even after the fact. Jamie Lynn, trying to drive the point home and trying to connect the fact that her and Britney are blood sisters, made the betrayal of working with the woman that orchestrated your sister's prison even worse.
Hey, loves, and welcome to another episode of Luv MEESH Podcast. Today is going to be a bit noisy because I am going for a walk. You guys should be getting between 15 and 30 minutes of sun every day. And that's for your vitamin D. But you won't hear that on the news now, will you? All right, so today's podcast is going to be about Britney Spears. And when I was a little teeny bopper, my parents would not let us listen to hardcore rap and Lil' Kim or Trina. None of that was going down. But we could get away with pop. So 97.9 was my little station, and I knew all the songs. I grew up in a mixed neighborhood anyway, so white, black, whatever, it didn't faze me. Now I know more rap and stuff and more of my culture, but growing up, color didn't faze me. By the time I got to middle school and high school, it was like, oh, these are my people. So I went from predominantly white school to a multicultural school. So I thought middle school in Inglewood was ESOL schools. And they had students from all over the world, to be honest. Bosnia, China, So anyways, getting back to little Miss Britney. My heart goes out to Britney. And I'm going to let you hear a lot of clips that'll probably have better audio. But this woman is 39. 39 years old and has someone control her everyday life. She's still 16. Telling her if she can and can't have children. It just blows my mind. Even if she is irresponsible with her money, they could give her an allowance and she could budget. But to tell someone they're crazy or that they can't have kids and they're 39 years old, but they can clearly work and pay all these people under them, it just doesn't make sense. Now, charge my head, not my heart, for this one. But people with autism can work. People with autism can have a whole family and a child by themselves, right? No one's concerned about them. So, I don't know. I just don't get it. Let me tell you why I like Britney, though. Britney made a video with clones. Real deal. And I don't even think I saw the video back then, or if I did, I didn't know what the message was, but clearly I know the message now. Britney, I feel like when Britney dropped that video,
she got some high-ranking people upset, and this is how they got back at her. Because I look at a TV show called Southern Charm. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I probably need to see if they got a new season, but this one woman, she was younger, and she slept with like the governor, or this man that was running for governor. Ended up having 2 kids by him, so she's kind of well-to-do. I hate to say it. She don't have to work a day in her life if she don't want to, thanks to those kids. And everybody was judging her and calling her a bad mom, and he even took them away. And everybody was like on the man's side. And then this other character on the show, she ended up having a baby, and she was crying, saying, you know, being a mom is hard as fuck, and to tell her that she's a bad mom is the most disrespectful thing that you could ever do, and y'all don't have kids. So when I saw that, it was like, wow, you know, the other lady was well-to-do. Her husband was a doctor. She was a realtor. So even if she hired nannies and all this other stuff, she even admitted it's still a hard fucking job. So to call someone else like a bad mom, like she resented it, she felt bad, remorseful, sorry. She apologized to the girl and was like, you know, when you carry something for 9 months, you just want to love it and, you know, provide for it and care for it. You would do everything within your power to give it a good life. So for someone not in your shoes to say you're a bad mom is like the worst thing you could ever say to a mom, right? And I get that. So getting back to Brittany, for them to say she's incompetent as a mom and to take her kids, but she can work 7 days a week and provide for everybody on her team, mom, dad, sister, nurses, doctors, psychiatrists, security, brother, you know, whole 9 yards. It just, like, how is my question. How can you not be a good mom and care for your kids, or, you know, but you can go to work 7 days a week just fine? Like, everything's, to me, when something's wrong, everything's going to be out of line. When I wasn't feeling myself, I didn't want to eat, clean, cook, work, like all of that shit shut down. It affects your whole life, not just one part. So I think that's bullshit. But let's get back to the video. I think when she made that video, she made some high-class people upset. And this was their way of getting back to her. And let me tell you why. If Brittany want to have 1 million kids, that's her motherfucking business. She damn sure got enough money to handle it, right? Cook, chef, nanny, whatever. She can handle it, right? And if she don't want to work anymore, that lady probably want to retire. She have enough money to be able to do that. But us regular people, we can have 1 million kids, probably can't afford them, get government assistance, get food stamps, and nobody will call us crazy. Nobody will put us on a censorship and, you know, monitor us and tell us we can't have kids. So that's why I think it's bullshit. They actually encourage it. You have more kids, we'll get you a bigger place to live. You have more kids, we'll get you some more food stamps. It's almost encouraged, you know, poverty-wise. But when you have money, they flip it on you. So we're not giving you housing, we're not giving you money, we're not giving you food stamps. But what we're going to do is we're going to control you. We're going to say that you can't have any more kids. We're going to use all your money. It's just, to me, it's just the same thing in reverse. So you got, on the poor end, you get stuff. You get housing, you get money, whatever. Keep having kids. And on the other side, where you have money, they could put you on, they always want to cry crazy. If this lady was crazy, they would have put her away. Not temporarily, not where she signed herself in, because she probably just wanted some peace from they fucking ass. But she would be in there indefinitely. But no, let's do the math. If we put you in one of these fancy places calling you crazy, that's going to cost. It's probably going to deplete all of your funds. And there's not going to be enough left over for us. So how about we let you work, continue to work, but we use your kids as pawns. If you don't do that, we'll take your kids. If you don't do this, we'll take your kids. If you don't do that, we'll take your kids. Now ask any mother. If someone was to hold their child for ransom and say, if you don't do X, Y, Z, I'm going to take your kid or kill your kid or whatever, unfortunately, that mom is going to do whatever. That's her seed. That's like a part of her. The bond that she had with that baby for 9 months, and still she gonna ride or die. That's a mom and her child, whether it's a girl or a boy. Just because she's a celebrity, that doesn't take that away from her. She's still gonna do whatever it takes for her kids. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about Hollywood and occult societies and secret societies, but there's a group, shit, they got so many names, Illuminati, Scientology, demonology, I don't know. There's so many names. Zionist. Man, y'all, this whole goes so deep. They don't just kidnap kids. They can kidnap them. They can rape them. They can put them in a sex slave. They can kill them. They can blood sacrifice them. They can eat them. Who knows? Brittany's probably so scared that her child is going to have to endure something worse than death. Because death, okay, it's horrible, but you're going to go back with God, you know. Even people on their dying bed will say, please, I just want to die. Like, they just want the pain to be over. So sometimes death can be a relief. But to torture your child, to put them in a sex slave, to, you know, sacrifice them and eat their organs and all this other shit, she probably will do anything they say to prevent that. And if she don't, she'll have to live with that guilt forever, you know? Like, that's the ultimate betrayal. Like a mom betrayed her child. But anyways, when Brittany did that video, and I want to say, what's it called? Busted? Let's see if I can find it. I'm walking and my screen is black, so I can't really see my screen too well. Let's see, as I looked at it. Me Against the World. Britney Spears, oops. No, it's on here. It is hot today, y'all. Hot. Let me see. Brittany. I can Google it real quick. Brittany video. Okay, Britney Spears Break the Ice official HD video on YouTube. That video was all cartoon. It was amazing. I fucking loved it from beginning to the end. Britney Spears went to the clone facility. It was a whole bunch of clones of her. She blew the shit up. It was a man. She sat on his lap and kissed him, and he kind of died. If you ask me, he looked like a robot. And then it kind of went off. So I believe this was before her censorship, because the record label should not have let that slide. So she had some type of freedom to even put that out. And y'all, we can't even talk about Epstein and the island without Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all, you know, Instagram, all of them taking that down. So for her to release a video that's still up today, I think they would have did more harm by taking it down than leaving it up. Because one thing with this society, the truth can be right in our face, but if you don't hear on 6 o'clock news, not too many people is going to believe it. And that is so unfortunate. It's almost as if back in the day, indigenous people could not read, because we're not really from Africa. Some of us are from here. So you either Indian or African. I can only speak from my culture. I'm not from another race. We couldn't read. We were at a disadvantage. We were not on our home front. The land wasn't the same. Food wasn't the same. Whatever. It was someone else's culture for the most part. But we can't say that now. We can read. We can write. We can understand. We can comprehend. We're working at the same place as these other people. But still, we're getting fooled and duped. And I just cannot understand it for the life of me. Like, I don't know. It's a really, really weird place. Like, that saying, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. Like, we have computers. We're walking around with computers. We can Google anything. They haven't shut that down yet, thank God. the truth is there. You can research whatever topic you want, whether it's on the news or not, it's there. And people still with their football, with their basketball, people still with their TV shows, people still clubbing, drinking, whatever. It's almost like they don't care. It's just like, I don't know. That could be a whole that's a whole nother podcast. But I do follow this guy, Brother Youssef, one of my spiritual leaders, because I did hear this quote: if we're not, it's all or none. We're either one or none. And that just means, I guess you can say God creator was bored. It was just him. So he just made all these different people, all these different lives, and is experiencing it. And the only reason I can understand that is when I play The Sims, I don't make one family. I make a lot of families. It's a whole neighborhood, and some of them are NPCUs, which they're already there. They're auto. They're doing what they want. But the ones that I could create, I can either put them on auto or I can play them, and they all have different lives, y'all. So I can have one to be a single girl, one could be married, one could be gay. Like, whatever scenarios I make up in my head, I can make those families and see those experiences, and they have different aspirations. Some of them work, some of them go to school, some of them are robbers. It's not just good. Yes, they have robbers on The Sims. But that's kind of how some people view existence. Like, to see how life is from different points of view. So when you're on one level, you look at it as good and bad. Good and bad. But when you get to a higher level, you understand that good cannot exist without bad. They kind of help each other. And I read this book called The Game is Life, and in The Game is Life, you could call them guardians or angels. They didn't have a choice of being good or bad. One day their eyes were blue and they were good, and whenever their eyes changed to red, they were bad. And they just had different objectives. When their eyes was red, they might trip people or cause accidents. Like, they literally had missions. And if you play video games, you're going to complete your mission, right? You want to win. And when they were good, they would heal people, they would prevent accidents, just good things. But the point is, they had roles. So they didn't really look at it as good as bad. They looked at it as, it's my mission and I'm completing my mission. So I said all that to say that there is a lot of evil going on in the world, but at the end of the day, it has its purpose, although it's unfortunate. And I always put everything back on us. We are so powerful. We have free will. We have fucking free will. They cannot give you a vaccine unless you, with your own free will, agree to it. So let's just say if something does end up happening with it, yes, we can blame the people that created it. Yes, we can blame the pharmaceuticals. Yes, we can point our fingers at everyone else. But when we sit down, peace and quiet, and really think about it, nobody put a gun to our head and made us take it. So ultimately, the blame falls on you. And that can go in a lot of categories. When you really sit down at the end of the day, you can blame a lot of people, but you have to include yourself. And if you really think about it, if it wasn't for yourself, none of those scenarios would have happened. But anyways, let's just say Britney is a clone. I was like, if Britney's a clone, maybe that's why she doesn't have rights. Perhaps clones don't have rights. But I was researching. I'm a nerd. digitalcommons.law.scu.edu. Okay? This website says human clones and international human rights. Okay, think it's a joke if you want. Say the United Nations Declaration of Human Cloning calls upon member states to prohibit all forms of human cloning. However, there's always that motherfucking however. However, the declaration is non-binding and will not put a stop to cloning around the world. Duh. I mean, we freaking know that. Scientists will continue to clone embryos in their quest to develop stem cell therapies. Ultimately, their work will facilitate the birth of human clones. Once born, human clones will be entitled to all of their rights and freedoms enumerated in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. UDHR, and the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, without distinction, based on their birth via asexual reproduction or status as human clone. Article 26 of the ICCPR prohibits laws that discriminate against human clones based on their birth or status. Anti-cloning laws violate this prohibition. The laws have a discriminatory purpose. They are an attempt to stop the birth of human clones. The laws also have a discriminatory effect. Human clones will lose their parents to prison and be stigmatized as subhuman duplicates who are unworthy of existence. Therefore, the UN Declaration of Human Cloning, which calls for the enactment of these discriminatory laws, is inconsistent with international human rights and should be rescinded. This is kind of like a double whammy. One moment it say, okay, clones have rights. The next moment it say, parents will be in prison and they're, don't have rights as humans, subhuman. Kind of feel like maybe Brittany is a clone, and the reason she doesn't have rights is because she's a clone. And clones are fucking amazing if they can have kids and still perform and fool everybody. Like, damn, they really got this clone shit down to a science. Okay, so I have 2 articles that could kind of back up why I think Brittany's a clone. Let me go to the first one. Okay. Was it this one or is it the other one? I got 2. Sorry, I'm not in the house, so I gotta find it. It was saying, I'm gonna find this article, y'all. Cause they had Eminem, and who else they had? Eminem. Found it. Okay, let me do more. Okay, so this article comes from dailystar.co.uk. Says, does this startling footage prove music icons Eminem and Britney Spears are clones? It says, startling footage has resurfaced that many have claimed prove pop legends Eminem, Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, and Michael Jackson are all clones. When I get back to the house, I'll see if I can record that video. Ooh, something electrical is going on, because I smell it. The article starts out by saying, the wacky theories may have been started back in 2015 when American rapper B.O.B. posted a series of critic tweets in which he claimed human cloning had existed for a considerable amount of time. And B.O.B. got a podcast out, y'all, the Bobcast. Go check it out. I love B.O.B. I always like B.O.B. After you finish watching a girl shake her ass and sex, and baby mama, what that mind do, okay? And his mind is right along with mine. I like that. Okay, so Bob said, I swear I can't want attention or money or fame no more. Just to get the truth out, he wrote in one tweet. Another tweet read, they basically want to drip feed the truth about human cloning to us as if it's soon to come, but it's been here. Ain't that the truth? Following the bizarre episode, conspiracy theorists started digging up old footage of framed pop stars and made some startling discoveries. I swear, okay, that's the same tweet. A long-standing theory is that Britney Spears was killed in a car crash with her damn boyfriend Justin Timberlake. Shit, is Justin a fucking clone? Did they both fucking die? Did he agree to something that she didn't? At the time, it was thought to be nothing more than a hoax made up by a pair of US DJs known as Kramer and Twitch. Now I'm gonna see if I can find some more on Kramer and Twitch, because I don't hear those names anymore. Do you? Probably killed them. But since then, 7 videos have emerged that some say back up this theory. Britney's own music video for 2009 hit Break the Ice is an animated depiction showing her blowing up a cloning center. According to Donald Marshall, one of the leading conspiracy theorists in cloning, the tubes detailed in the video look exactly like the real tubes in a cloning center. Another hit came later with the track Mona Lisa, where she repeatedly sings, "Just been cloned." Now this is sad. Disney princess turned pop bad girl Miley Cyrus is believed by some to be a clone. And not just any clone, a Draco reptilian shape-shifting hybrid. This is because several archive clips appear to show the Wrecking Ball hitmaker blinking sideways just like a reptilian. Of course, this could easily have been edited, but for some it's just further proof of celebrity cloning. Now, I don't know if it was Miley Cyrus or Hillary Duff, but one of them have a show on Black Mirror, one of the episodes in which they were a celebrity singer, go figure, and they wanted, the producers and managers wanted them to do something and they didn't want to do it, so they put them in a coma, which I'm sure they can do manually, but they're going to have to stage an accident. How many accidents have we seen throughout history with these celebrities? They got all this money and all these drivers, but they always get in an accident. Princess Diana, freaking, just go back. Too many people, accidents where they either make it out, and I think they make it out if they agree, or they die. It's just too cool. When I hear car accident, overdose, or anything along those lines, it's a hit, because they have symbolisms behind them. Like if you get hung with a red tie or something like that, it means this. Like, all this shit is above our heads. Really, it's really not, because people be leaking the truth, but we're too consumed with bad eating habits and YOLO to even believe the shit. But again, that's another podcast. They also say after Michael Jackson's death in 2009, his good friend Dave appeared on CNN News report discussing the pop legend's untimely death. But many say Dave, who suffered severe burns as a child, was in fact Michael Jackson's clone. Now that's a bad clone, y'all. First, they say his voice sounds almost identical as the late bad singer. And there's also the suggestion that his eyes are similar as well. Of course, these videos could all be edited or misinterpreted, and the vast majority of people will go along with the line of thinking. That's the problem. But maybe, just maybe, there is more than meets the eye when it comes to the world's most famous stars. That's what led me to believe, okay, if she's a clone, maybe she doesn't have rights that they're able to do this for her. But at the end of the day, my heart goes out to her, clone or not. And I look at this TV show. It's a couple TV shows on Netflix. One is called Humans. Another one I think is like clones, where, and I think this is already like happening. Maybe let me tell you my thought process. A lot of people be like, I just don't understand your thought process. That's fine. Let me take you back. All these celebrities that we look at, all these Instagram models, they've been had surgeries. We just didn't know about it. Shit, didn't even have the money to even think about it. Madonna had the surgery. They've been doing these surgeries years ago. Technology been here. They would go away for weeks or months at a time. It's either to have a baby and get rid of it, or to do that surgery or shit both. The cat is out the bag now. In 2020, 21, bitches, next door neighbors is going to go get the surgery. You don't even got a house yet. You don't even got a car or a computer or a printer in your house so the kids can do their schoolwork. But your body fixed. I mean, I don't know. But so the point being is this stuff has been around. We just didn't know about it. My thought process is I know a lot of this stuff already. You just don't know about it. And you're not going to know about it unless you look it up. Because it's not on the 6 o'clock news if that's all you rely on. And it's not on these damn TV shows because that's not what they're talking about. You know, the TV's controlled. The news is controlled. A couple of news people have lost their job for saying, like, let me give you another example. Do you know the news discriminates? They won't talk about Bitcoin and stuff like that at 6 o'clock because they figure that's when a lot of ethnic people look at the news, and we don't understand that. They have the audacity to say what we do and don't understand. So the people 6 o'clock in the morning can find out about stocks, but not 6 o'clock at night. Like, make it make sense. It's called redlining. They do that with homes too. In your neighborhood, if there's a lot of ethnic people, they draw a red line. When they go to sell those houses, the property value is a lot higher because there's not a lot of ethnic people in that neighborhood. If you stay on the other side of town, for example, y'all both can have 5-bedroom, 3-bath. You stay in the hood, and it don't even have to be about your neighbors, because sometimes the way everybody upkeep their yard, it will bring the value down. But at the end of the day, shit, 5 is 5. 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom is a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom. Same square footage now, y'all. You on the good side of the red line, your house might be $500,000. You on the bad side of the red line, your house might be $250,000. Now, right is right and wrong is wrong, but that's just the world we live in. I mean, shit, we don't make the rules, but even if you don't make the rules, if you learn them, you can fucking play the game. Because it is a goddamn game. Okay, so now that's that. You're going to have to look at some documentaries to find out about that. I mean, it's not hidden. This shit is out here. It's just you either looking at it, searching for it, paying attention, or you're not. And all that fluoride they putting in the water, we have a lot of pineal glands that are calcified. And if somebody tell you, it's still not going to make sense to you because you need to decalcify your pineal gland so you can think for yourself and not be a fucking zombie. That's what all these damn zombie movies is about. If somebody say jump off the cliff right now, so many people would do it. That's what that shot is reminding me of. Y'all all jumped off the cliff. And if we were made in God's image and they're changing your DNA with the shot, you are not in God's image anymore. But nobody's talking about that now, are they? It's not the same thing as getting your leg amputated to save your life and giving you an aesthetic leg. This is changing your DNA. This can affect your ability to reproduce. Man and woman. But that podcast is coming. So let me finish with Miss Brittany. My heart goes out to Miss Brittany. I feel like whether she's a clone or not, she should have her life. Oh yeah, I went on a tangent. Sorry, y'all. So the clone shows was about us having clones. Everyday people having clones. Whether it's to make dinner, to watch the kids. Shit, if you were single, it was your freaking girlfriend. Or wife if you want to marry her. And eventually, the man that made the clones, they were all just programmed to do whatever the human said, right? The human was the master. But it was like 5 of them, and this one is called humans. It was like 5 of them. He gave different. One could think for herself. One got angry. One could eat. Like they all had different senses. And one was a hybrid. His son was a hybrid. I think that's how it started. His son almost drowned. His wife drowned, but the son survived only because he was a half human, half son. And he didn't even know it for the longest. He had to charge. At night, them robots have to sit down and charge, and he would have to charge too. Man, this show was so good. I got my mama to look at it. This show is so good. I love it. Because they said by the time they put it on TV, it's been here. We just that late. So just think back. All the models with all the bodies. They in the gym. They working out. Man, they been had a surgery. You just didn't know that part. And I didn't even catch on to it. But one of my TV shows, which was Insecure by Issa Rae. His, was it that one? I think. I'm thinking back. I think it was that one. Where, no. This one was called Love. My bad. That's a good show too. Y'all check it out. This show is called Love that Oprah pulled when the whole Me Too thing started, because apparently the man was a part of the Me Too and they just wanted to mess it up because this was a great show. But a rich girl fell in love with a poor boy and it was just amazing. But before he got with her, his other girl was a yoga instructor and she got the surgery, and even though they weren't together, he helped her heal, like helping her with the drainage and all this other stuff. I didn't know what the fuck that was about. That's about all these damn surgeries these girls get, and it's all on YouTube now. You got to drain, you got to go get massage, you got to move that fat around. It ain't just no overnight surgery. The celebrities can go away for a month and be taken care of. But you got to bring your ass home and figure that shit out. So anyway, I just was thinking back like, damn, that was right there in front of my eyes on TV. And I still didn't know what it was because, people in my neck of the woods wasn't getting it. So anyway, so back to the TV show. At the end, the people was saying that the robots was taking their jobs, and they just was like turning on the robots. But I think when God created us, we became sentient. We have feelings. When you cut down a tree and you make a house, that is still alive. When you burn it down to ashes and it's floating in the air, it is still alive. Energy cannot be destroyed. It's only transferred. You can only change the way that it is. Ice, water, gas. That's the best example we have. You're either in a solid form, you're in a liquid form, or you're in an air form, you still exist. So when we made robots, they are a thing. They are a sentient being, whether you can control it or not. And that's, to be honest, I just think that's where society is. They want to control us. They're losing control. It's too much people for them to really tell us what to do. We could really rally and, take over. It's more of us than them. And the only way to get it back under control is depopulation and robotization. And yes, I just made that up, but they want to turn us into fucking robots where they can program and tell us what to do. But anyways, in the show, the robots want to have their own lives. They want to have family shit. They even want to have kids. Man, they had even made kid robots, y'all. And one of them, she ended up having a baby, and they didn't bring the season back yet, but that would be a whole nother season. Like, okay, now what you gonna do? It's not literally a robot, so you can't be mad. It's a robot and a human, so it has to have rights like a human. So you gonna give it half the rights? I don't know. That's just amazing. But that's what that made me think of. But yeah, Brittany goes to court on the 17th, and your destiny is your destiny. Sometimes we have to go through lessons to mold us into who we're supposed to be, whether it's tough or easy. So if this is something that she has to go through, nobody can stop that. But if this is something that can change, then I send up a prayer for her. Hopefully she could get out. And the way that I be looking at things, some people be like, that ain't my business, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's selfish as fuck. We were slaves at one point. And that's exactly how other people were. Well, they slaves, I'm not. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Oh, well, let them still slave. But some of them risked their lives, and some of them died for us. And if it weren't for them, where would we be? So sometimes, no matter what, the law says, because that's just man-made, we value law more than God. We follow it. But if it's wrong, it's wrong. You don't need a law to tell you it's wrong. We don't need a law to say that this lady is 39 years old and somebody's telling her whether she can have kids or not. But Shaquita on 3rd Street can have $1 million? I mean, I don't know. That's just crazy. If that lady want to make $1 million and splurge, let her do it. We got humans doing that every day. You got humans being irresponsible with their money every day. Nobody's, dictating their life. So let her live hers. And it's other ways that situation can be handled versus total control. Like, this is not normal. And people want to focus on this or that. Focus on that's not normal. It's not put yourself in her shoes. It's not normal for you to work 7 days a week. It's not normal for you not even be able to change in privacy. It's not normal for somebody to tell you whether you can have a child. Now, I don't need a law to tell me if that's right or wrong. Like, what's wrong with society? I don't relate anymore. I sent my sisters a message saying just that. I do not relate anymore. Life is not the same. It's most definitely not. But I'm gonna read or probably skim through 2 articles and then let you hear her clips, and it's probably gonna be a 2-part series because that was long. But yeah, thank you for listening. No matter where you are, I'm gonna have to play this back and see how the audio was. But wherever you are, thank you for listening. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. And if nobody has told you today, I love you. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks a billion for listening. You can reach me on other social media platforms at www.linktr.ee/LUV.MEESH. I hope you have a better than great day. Love ya. Talk to you later. Mwah. Bye. Go Mimi. It's the Meesha Podcast. Hey, go me, go Mimi.